Good everyone, here is the latest video update on Tropical Storm Gaemi on this Thursday afternoon or Thursday early evening here in the Western Pacific, October 4th. We continue to watch Tropical Storm Gaemi, but first we begin with Tropical Storm Maliksi, or former Tropical Storm Maliksi, which is now fully transitioned into an extratropical cyclone as it moved across the northern Pacific. It was last look approximately around 700 kilometers northeast of Tokyo in Japan, and as you can see, the system is now barely recognizable in terms of tropical storm characteristics. It's now transitioning and fully embedded into the baroclinic zone in this region. See that baroclinic leaf to the north of the system, and also that frontal characteristics coming stronger and becoming more defined. The system continues to move quickly to the northeast, well away from Honshu, well east of Honshu, but it's actually moving near Hokkaido, just southeast of the island, and will be moving near the Kuril Islands in the next few hours here. In terms of direct impacts, we are not really seeing anything. The heavy rains associated with this system is southeast of Hokkaido at the moment and are not forecast to really impact the island. However, there will still be a threat of high waves, however, across the coast of Hokkaido and even into eastern Honshu, particularly around the Tohoku region. And in fact, we still have high wave warnings and even storm surge warnings being put out by JMA all along this region for the threat of that. The high waves still being generated by this cyclone, and continue to probably see that the threat as we move into the evening hours. Again, the system is quickly moving to the northeast around 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, so moving quite fast now as it encounters with the strong upper level winds in this region. So expect the system to move away in this region, in this part of the world, in the next 12 to 24 hours. Won't really be a threat anymore for Japan, perhaps maybe for Kuril Islands, and also Kamchatka Peninsula and the Russian Far East as an extratropical cyclone. But as for the updates and warnings for the system, both the JMA and the Joint Typhoon Warning Center have given their final warnings. So this will probably be our final update on Maliksi. Now we move on to the other tropical storm. We still have Tropical Storm Gaemi, or Bagyong Marce, still inside the Philippine area of responsibility, and moved very little in the past 24 hours, still west of Luzon. Last look at approximately 300 kilometers west-northwest of Manila, or about 200 kilometers west-southwest of the city of Iba here in the province of Zambales. The system is actually weakened. Maximum sustained winds are down to 85 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 120 kilometers per hour. No longer a severe tropical storm. As I said before, the system moved very little, stayed nearly stationary in this region the past 24 hours, but has begun to move to the west-southwest in the past 3 hours. Still very slow though, moving at 10 kilometers per hour. Now the system, as I said before, has weakened. Probably notice in this latest visible image this exposed low-level circulation center dominating the visible image here, and much of the convection is now displaced to the west of that circulation. Gotta be honest, we didn't really see this coming. Remember yesterday we were forecasting this system to intensify. In fact, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center forecasting this to become a typhoon by Friday. It looks like the system is struggling right now. There has been some dry air that's entrained into the circulation overnight, and also easterly wind shear has strengthened past 12 to 24 hours, again displacing much of the convective activity to the west. We still have some easterly wind shear around 10 to 20 knots as of the last analysis. So will probably take its time again, probably make it difficult for this system to actually recover. Although we will still expect intensification though as it moves westward into perhaps by Friday and Saturday. But as of the Philippines, thankfully we're not seeing widespread rain showers impacting parts of Luzon. We are still seeing though some parts of Visayas and even Palawan still receiving some scattered rain showers. intertropical convergence zone, and also some isolated thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. But as far as the storm effects go, heavy rains are not being seen across Luzon. However, the high waves across the western seaboard are very strong. In fact, there has been a report of 2 dead here in Visayas, in Boracay, where a boat is actually capsized, and even here in Batangas province, just this afternoon, a fisherman was reported missing after a boat has sank off the coast of Batangas, so very near the storm, very near our system. Actually, Batangas is situated right over here in the southern Luzon region, and again, the high waves being generated by Gaemi will continue to impact much of the western seaboard of the Philippines, even though the system is very weak at this point. Now, in terms of the forecast, again, the system has begun to move west-southwestward and will continue to do so in the next few hours. Subtropical ridge north of the system is becoming stronger, and will continue to steer the system to the west across the South China Sea, avoiding the Philippines, and could perhaps make landfall here in coast of Vietnam, perhaps by Saturday or Sunday morning. Actually, remember yesterday we were forecasting a landfall by around Saturday afternoon. The system has stayed in this region for another 24 hours, so we have extended our forecast now. So we now expect a landfall to be around Sunday morning, as opposed to Saturday. Joint Typhoon Warning Center no longer expecting this to become a typhoon, so perhaps a severe tropical storm, perhaps with winds around 100 kilometers per hour upon landfall, and weakening quickly thereafter after making landfall here in Vietnam, crossing into Laos by Sunday evening, and perhaps dissipating as a tropical depression as it moves into Thailand by Monday. Now, a system will be weakening at this point, but it could still bring widespread rains across Indochina, across Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and even here into Thailand as we move into the early part of next week. Finally, we have the Japan Meteorological Administration showing you again their 5-day forecast, and showing nearly the same track here with the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, forecasting this to move generally westward in the coming days, making landfall here in Vietnam by Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, again dissipating over Thailand as a tropical depression. Before we move on, just got a word from Pagasa's Twitter page that they are still keeping the provinces of Zambales and Bataan under signal number 1 for the possibility of winds up to 60 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, Pagasa's website is down at the moment for some reason, so we can't show the track forecast from that agency, but nevertheless, pretty good agreement overall in terms of the forecast from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center and JMA, so we don't really expect Pagasa to veer too far off from that forecast. Before we go, take a final look here at the Western Pacific, and then we continue to see Tropical Storm Gaemi meandering here west of Luzon, and here is former Tropical Storm Maliksi, now an extratropical cyclone moving quickly to the northeast away from Japan. And look here to the south, still very active monsoon trough extending near Mindanao all the way to the west, all the way to the east near the island of Pohnpei, well southeast of Guam. And we're still seeing this region for the possibility of tropical cyclone formation in the next 3 to 5 days. We still have Invest 97W here, southeast of Guam, still being rated as slow though by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Although again the computer models are starting to pick up on this system, more and more agreement in terms of the cyclone potential in the next 3 to 5 days, so something we'll definitely watch as we move into the early part of next week. Also to the Caroline Islands here in Palau and Yap, still reporting actually some heavy rains in the past 24 hours, again due to all that monsoonal moisture in this region. That's all for right now. You can check out this. Well, unfortunately, Pagasa's website is down. You can check out their Twitter page at DOST Pagasa for the latest warnings and also for forecasts for the system. Finally, we also have WesternPacificWeather.com for the latest video updates, not only for the system, but also for the Western Pacific weather as a whole, from our meteorologist Robert Spade. Stay safe, guys.